Life's got me bad, but if I had a midget, I'd be glad. I'd like to watch him jump around on my Nintendo Power Pad. He'd have a big head, short legs, and a long torso. The name that I'd give my pet midget is Little Gordo. I'd teach him to do tricks like backflips and sidekicks, and when company came over, he'd perform and get tips. While I'm eating at night in the kitchen, he'd be able to get the food scraps that I threw under the table. If my midget was ever bad and acted arranged, then I'd take him to the bathroom and put him in his cage. But if he kept acting up and really made me sick, I'd hang him upside down and poke him with the stick. Little Gordo, who would be good most of the time, though. He'd like to wear a helmet and run around yelling "Coyote." I'd take him for walks in the park on the weekends, and if he saw the midgets, he'd say, "Can we be friends?" He'd only need a 3-foot coffin when he was dead, and he's in the Guinness Book for the world's biggest head. What a funny little fellow, but don't call him a shrimp, or he'll attack you a leg, 'cause Gordo's a tough gimp. He'd have a pogo ball that he'd bounce on for hours. A dirty little fathead. Gordo wouldn't take showers. When Halloween came, he wouldn't be a chump, getting all the candy going around as a tree stump. Sometimes my friends would chase Gordo with the gun. It'd be fun, because midgets would wobble when they run. They're so close to the ground and so easy to kick. They're so slow in the head, so easy to trick. Gordo could do somersaults, his special thing. At the fair, I would make him enter mud wrestling. Sometimes he'd wear stilts and try to pretend to be tall. Then I'd kick him over and then I'd laugh at him fall. Silly little Gordo, just be yourself. I'd put on your head and you'd just be a shelf. He'd do funny little dances, but that's irrelevant. At the beach, Gordo got attacked by pelicans. He had a girlfriend once, but she was an ogre. It didn't last long because he could have blump her sober. Gordo had a problem. Gordo wet the bed, so I made him wear diapers on his ass and his head. He'd have to clean up his own cage himself, and when he lost a little weight, he'd be a Keebler elf. He'd really be something, my mangled little munchkin, plus his head would be larger than any big pumpkin. The perfect little fool would make a perfect footstool. Sometimes I'd kick him in his head and say, "Bitch, be cool." I had a great life. I'd be happy, I know, if I only owned a little pet midget named Little Gordo. What? Sorry, my voice cracked.